everybody, and welcome to another episode of Epic Geek Out, the only show on the internet that's here at Wizard World Comic Con with their own panel. I'm your host, Chad.
I'm your host, Rob, and today we're going to be talking about Now You See Me, which is the new movie that just came out.
Yeah, and on Thursday we're going to be diving into some of our exploits here at Comic Con, talking about some of the panels that we got to see, showing you some footage. We were lucky enough to kind of
take over
a little bit to do our reviews this week. We couldn't afford mic stands, but we're excited about what we have to talk about.
It's good.
So let's get into our review of Now You See Me.
So Now You See Me is the new movie from Louis Leterrier. It stars Jesse Eisenberg, Woody Harrelson, Isla Fisher. Actually a really good cast throughout the movie. And it's a story about four magicians. You know, they each kind of have their own unique skill to, you know, to some degree.
Sleight of hand.
One's like a former assistant kind of thing. And it's their story of them coming together as a group to perform these kind of ridiculous magic tricks that are, you know,
crime heists.
The crime heist, and Morgan Freeman's character is kind of trying to disprove.
He's like the masked magician.
He's like the Fox guy, you know, who just tries to ruin magicians' lives. So it kind of has like some Ocean's 11 elements to it. But Chad, what did you think of Now You See Me?
Yeah, so unfortunately this weekend there was not a lot of good stuff.
It came down to Now You See Me or After Earth, and we kind of went with this.
And I was really excited to see Now You See Me. When I first saw the trailer, I thought it was a really cool idea. I love magic. We both do, so.
I love magic, but I don't think I like magic movies. But
yeah, that's true. Well, I like the Prestige. I know we
I don't. But
I was really interested to kind of see taking the crime element, because that's really a cool idea, because magicians are known for getting out of things and things that could be helpful in a crime scenario. So I was intrigued by that. I did hear some bad buzz about it a couple weeks ago, so I was really kind of turned off. And then I was like, well, maybe we'll see After Earth, because maybe that'll be good. Obviously, the reviews for that are not great, so it remains to be seen if that's actually gonna. You know, it could be better than this. I don't know, but this was kind of disappointing. I mean, it had like I said, the elements of being good, but it wasn't good. It had a lot of rushed plot points, like
no
character. Location for like a second, and then go to another location. No character development in it whatsoever. The four main magicians, while they were cool and kind of had their own personas, it really was. You said this earlier, like a vehicle for Mark Ruffalo, and he was the main.
Well, I said that to you yesterday, but
fleshed out person in it, you know.
And he plays just, you know, I didn't mention him before. He plays kind of an FBI detective who's also trying to catch them.
Trying to catch them, like a catch me if you can type of thing. Yeah, I mean, everything was really rushed in it. That's really how I felt about it. And the third act of it was really awful and just made me want to check out so soon, you know, so soon. But there was no no resolution that was satisfying for it. There was a sort of twist, but it wasn't really a twist. I mean, it kind of was stupid and didn't really, it kind of invalidated a lot of the little character work that they did throughout. It invalidated a lot of that. And just, you know, the tricks were cool, but a lot of stuff, like, it wasn't explained how they were practical. You know, like, there was a lot of, like, very magical stuff, and I thought maybe at some point they would kind of touch on that, like, why the stuff was so ridiculously, like, impossible, because it was all about, like, you know, misdirection. Like, that was the whole thing. The explanation was misdirection between being the smartest guy in the room, as you see in all the trailers, like, how that plays into the heist. But then some of the stuff was, like, not even misdirection. It was just fantastical elements that would never happen.
Just added for no reason.
So and the CG of that was just terrible too. But so
the CGI was really bad.
There was it was straight, just plot point by plot point, and they weren't good, and there was no character, and so it just fell really flat. It's very forgettable movie.
Yeah, I didn't really enjoy this. In the beginning, they did I think some really. You got to know the four characters well. They showed them doing their different kinds of magic.
They did that quickly.
And that was very quickly done. But, you know, you kind of got a sense of who the characters were, and that was good. But then they really weren't in it or the focus of it as much. You know, they had a huge cast to this movie, and it just kind of was – people were lost in the filming of this. You know, you go to the movies, you suspend your belief for sure. But this movie asked you to do it way too much that – it just became unenjoyable. So, you know, throughout the movie, you know, they're stealing money, right? they're criminals. I mean, even if they're doing this for some noble cause of giving it back to people, they still just were like, yeah, I'll be a criminal so I can get into this, you know, to know some other people. I'll just be a criminal. And like literally they just stole money like from banks. So there were just moments, you know, the first trick was kind of explained well. I was like, okay, that's cool. They're going to explain it. But then other tricks that they just did, they were just so fantastical that it made no sense whatsoever. And I just wish this movie was more grounded in reality. Yes. And I think it could have been great if this movie was grounded in reality and had it, you know, give the audience some credit that they don't need to see the giant tricks, you know, on screen. Have it be sleight of hand, have these actors really pick up magic skills, and have it be a more personal movie. I think would have been better. I think you could lose Michael Caine, you could lose a lot of the actors in this that you're like, oh, they're gonna have a bigger role. Oh no, it's and then it's a lot of exposition. It was just them talking about stuff like, oh, this happened because of. Well, give us some credit and show us and allow us to come to the conclusions ourselves. The use of technology in it was ridiculous. Like, they had moments that just weren't feasible. So the fact that the tricks they had in the movie weren't even feasible kind of in today's standards and things like that, it just totally took you out of it. There was one character at the end that was added, just piecemealed into the situation. It's like not the director of the FBI, but, you know, Mark Ruffalo's boss. And it was played so badly. Like, it was laughable at points. So the third act, you know, I think kind of stunk. If you paid any attention to the movie, you could have predicted what was going to happen. None of the moments where they were in peril seemed to deserve, you know, that you cared about them at all. Yeah. So, you know, this is a skip for me.
It definitely, it had so much potential. And if they did take more realistic approach to it, where they were criminals that were enhanced by their magic, and they tried to do that, but it didn't happen because everything was just crazy and ridiculous. So.
Also, it's one of those movies where everything has to happen 100% according to plan, and there's 6,000 things that need to go exactly right. Whereas, you know, there's a car chase scene, like, you know,
randomly.
He could have gotten in 1,000 accidents in just that alone. Him escaping, you know, hitting FBI agents, like. He hit and like it would have. He's going to go to jail for that no matter what. Like, so it, you know, it's definitely a skip.
So it's it's unfortunately skip. For me too. So that's Now You See Me.
So it's that time of the episode where we like to give our thanks. Chad, what are you thankful for today?
I love technology, as we all know, and I like technology that can enhance your life, not just games and stuff like that, you know, because that's all fun.
I agree with this, thanks.
But
I know where it's going.
I like stuff that really thinks outside the box a little bit. So there's an app that exists called Uber that's been around for, you know, a fair amount of time. It's been for a while, but you know, I just moved down to the Philadelphia, the city, and Rob, you know, was over this weekend. So what the app does is it allows you on your smartphone to request like a cab, but it's a really nice cab. It's like
a
town car.
It's a town car.
And you know, you pick your location and they come pick you up within 5 minutes, usually even faster than that. The closest car, you know, gets it to their phone and they come pick you up. Everything's taken care of through the app, so you don't have to pay any money. It all kind of connects to your card, automatically tips the driver and everything. But it's really convenient and really cool, especially since we saw Now You See Me in a shady area of Philadelphia. It was nice to kind of request that, get the pickup right away, and kind of get back to where we needed to go. So I think it's really cool. It's all in all like major cities, used in Boston as well. So it's a really
awesome.
Cool thing.
And you see where the cars are and how close they are to you.
Yeah, and you can see. So. Yeah, it's really cool. And also Uber, they don't like provide the cars; they just did the technology, and then they actually license companies to do it. So I think it's really cool, really genius, and it's really awesome.
It definitely serves a purpose. So you know, obviously we're both Doctor Who fans. We talk about it a lot on our show. It's, you know, a great series. Over the weekend, you know, we heard the news that Matt Smith is leaving as the Doctor. He has the 50th anniversary episode and then the Christmas episode, and then he's going to regenerate and we're going to get a new Doctor. And I just think, you know, we spent our Saturday at this con, and I literally was just counting people who were cosplaying as the Doctor.
A lot.
You know, it's an awesome show. Matt Smith, my thank is going directly to him, just because he was kind of the doctor that, after Tenet, I was like, okay, let's see how this goes. And it's great, and it's the beauty of that show is that they can do it. And now we're both, you made this good point. We're both caught up to the show, and we're actually watching it live for the first time. And so it's going to be our first Doctor that we see just come into it live and experience that. So, fans of Doctor Who, sorry if I just broke the news to you, because I think I gasped when I heard it. But I'd like to thank Matt Smith for his time as the Doctor.
I think he's also mainstreamed it a little bit more.
Yeah, I think so.
Since his time, it's really become more of a not as niche as it once was, I think. So
Agreed. So stay tuned. Thursday, we're going to be doing our recap episode of our experience here at Wizard World Philly. Catch that episode and have a good day.